And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting with the fire update here. For today, there were some isolated wet thunderstorms for the southeastern interior along the Alcamp border. Otherwise, fuels are generally wet and not eager to burn after the cold, wet start we've had to the first half of July. And for the outlook, warming and drying this weekend into early next week. On the fire danger forecast for tomorrow for Spruce, North Slope, got some high fire danger there, and then the usual high to very high fire danger in the Yukon Flats, and smaller areas of higher fire danger here along the lee side of the eastern Alaska Range, especially over toward the border and in the Copper River Basin. From there, looking at satellite imagery, got a band of moisture flowing northward here across the southeast coast, gradually spreading some clouds and rain northward across the panhandle today, with up to half an inch falling over the southern areas. A lot of moisture here coming northward as well from the Gulf up into south central Alaska. Again, actually the North Gulf Coast and south central Alaska, with showers all the way up to the Alaska Range, keeping it wet and cool again in this area. Actually, all of the southern part of the state and northward was on the cloudy, damp side today, especially here in the west. Drier conditions up in the north there. And then higher pressure developing here over the eastern Bering Sea ahead of this next system that brought 25 to 35 mile an hour wind gusts to the Aleutians, with rain from Shimia into Adak, spreading into Atka during the afternoon hours. On the chart, there's that system out there, again with some small craft advisory level winds associated with it out ahead of the frontal boundary. Low center still southwest of Shimia. In advance of that, high pressure building here over the southeast Bering Sea, centered over the eastern Aleutians today. That made for dry conditions once again over the remainder of the Bering Sea, drying out over the western part of the state here, with showers diminishing today over the Kuskokwim Valley. Next, this band of rain now starting to end over south central Alaska. Still some moisture to the east here into Prince William Sound. And then also with the upper trough coming southward, showers continue today over Kodiak Island, drier over the northern Panhandle, eastern North Gulf Coast areas. And then this warm front, weak warm front, caught up in southerly flow there, low center, weak low center way down to the south, but that'll be tracking northward tonight, and that front will be shifting northwestward, so some light rain will become a little more steady here over the northern Panhandle as it tends to end down toward Dixon Entrance, but it'll keep going along the southern coast though. And then a weak trough here keeps chance of rain or showers over Kodiak Island, possibly up into the Barrens, but should dry out considerably here across southern Alaska, with most of the precipitation ending. In fact, only a couple of weak troughs and some scattered showers associated with them are possible here for the Norton Sound area, Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island, western Seward Peninsula, and another one of these developing showers over the eastern Brooks Range this afternoon, shifting off slowly and keeping it kind of showery, with some possible light precipitation in areas of the eastern North Slope and Arctic coast. And this system slowly advancing eastward, pushing some rain in toward Nikolsky, but higher pressure also shifting eastward here in toward Bristol Bay, and again drying out over much of the interior. And that high continues to move to the coastline tomorrow as this front pushes gradually eastward, not too fast though. But the warm front will spread some rain into the eastern Aleutians and start to bear down on the Pribilof Islands. Wet conditions back to Adak and Atka, with again gusty winds maybe to 35 miles an hour out of the south-southwest. Weak trough off the western Arctic coast brings a chance of rain, maybe some breezy southwest winds in that area, but nothing too significant. Dry from the North Slope all the way down, mostly sunny, considerably warmer in the Susitna Valley tomorrow. Highs in the mid-70s, 60s to near 70 elsewhere across the Kenai Peninsula, back into the Kuskokwim Valley. A lot of 70s now showing up again over the eastern and central interior areas, with some isolated diminishing showers for the Panhandle and the Aleutian Range. And this weak low now off the coast will keep it kind of cloudy and unsettled for the Panhandle. And then for Saturday, remnants of this moisture comes westward, and that'll bring a chance of showers along the North Gulf Coast. southern Kenai Peninsula back into eastern Kodiak Island during the day Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies here over the interior areas with temperatures well into the 70s, many locations, and pushing near 80 in some spots over toward Eagle, for example. Isolated showers developing over the eastern Alaska range, any one of which could develop into a brief thunderstorm. Otherwise, trough grazing the central Arctic coast with a chance of moisture there. Chance of showers continue over the northern panhandle, but drier with some clearing down to the south. Sunshine, southwest coast, Bristol Bay, Nunivak Island, mostly sunny down to the Alaska Peninsula. Weakening front here brings some rain, keeps it wet over the eastern Aleutians to the Pribilofs, with the main low center kind of stuck back there over the southwest Bering Sea. Lows tonight in the 40s for the most part, just about 40s everywhere, 40s to near 50 over much of the interior, mid-50s for the lows for the Panhandle, upper 50s for the southern southeast coast. Highs tomorrow, a lot of 70s here from the Susitna Valley right on up to the North Slope, 73, the forecast high for Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse, and 70s, mid-70s over toward the eastern border, with highs in the Panhandle, mostly in the 60s. And then for the lows, 40s out to the west, a lot of 40s and 50s for the east side, with mid-30s for the central Arctic coast and mid-50s for the Panhandle. And then Saturday afternoon highs near 80 over toward Eagle, otherwise mid to upper 70s Yukon Flats into the greater Fairbanks area, 70 to 80 south central Alaska as well as the Copper River Basin, and 65 to 71 for the southeast coast, otherwise in the mid-50s here for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians.